Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Songs of Syx. In the previous episode, we drove off some bandits, expanded our town ever more. Today, I think I want to continue in that trajectory. I think to start off with, we have absolute shitload of cut stone. I know every time I build something with cut stone, I'm kind of denying some revenue because the cut stone is like our primary export. I think we can start to get some more of our roads converted into cut stone ones. At this point, it makes sense just to have everything be cut stone on the interior of the town. Maybe not these outskirts roads. Another thing that I've been contemplating is having a clothes maker out here, because everybody's sort of just suffering and naked. I mean, some people have clothes. Actually, quite a lot of people have clothes. I guess people have been making the rounds. We have so much cotton stored here, though, that I have a feeling that a clothier wouldn't be too bad, is all. Just help out. Some of these people definitely are underserved. Does mean that there's going to be a lot of dwarfage, because I want it to be another building manned by dwarves. If I was to have a clothesier's shop, let me look. What's my current most successful setup? Textile tailor and a weaver. I guess it's just like 14 spaces long by 10 spaces wide, give or take. So we could have a couple buildings like that built into the mountain. Might even have the room do it here. Yeah, it'd be a little bit of a tight fit. But we could do it. The alternative would be down here or something. And this nub, or this would be a pretty good spot for one, to be honest, as well. So it's so close to both of the... It's not really close to this warehouse, but it's very close to this warehouse. I think the dwarves deserve some under the mountain type buildings. Okay, we'll have the weaver here, and then the tailor can be in this little mini mountain. Seems good to me. So I'll get that started. It's going to be a while before we can... Oh, it says it. Awesome. I guess this should be good enough. It'll be a while before we can benefit from the fruits of our labor here, but that is fine. It's the cost of doing business for having inside the mountain buildings. $10 by $12. This should be good enough as well. Connects perfectly there, and we can have a little back door here. Then another, just extend the dirt road as well. There we go. So we're laying down that foundation. To be honest, it might be worth cutting out some mountain for another mountain building too, because if we have 50 workers here, we might need even more worker housing. So the question is where? It'd be deeper in the mountain, I guess, but It's a little bit sketch. Could maybe do it, Wait, is the mine's done? Oh shit, we're at negative 42 on jobbers. That's gonna need to be fixed. I think like a nice super dorm right here. Be good. Definitely don't want 69 employees. You could probably start off with like 40. Then I'm gonna let in probably 50 dwarves. So they're gonna need there's gonna have to be some weavers too. Dwarves are the most skilled of miners, I believe. Pretty sure. I mean, it makes sense. It's very dwarfy behavior. See the worker count trickling up, but I imagine it's going to trickle down as the employees get sorted into the ore mine. Which is fine. Another benefit of there being so many farms here is the farmers in the off-season sort of act like odd jobbers, so that's why this mountain stuff is maybe going to get done not in one eternity. Why are only 13 dudes working here? What the fuck? Definitely not down to clown with the slaves. Not about that slavery lifestyle. Some more workers are getting in here. There's some grain farmers who are just chilling, watching the miners work. It's a little bit fucked up. Still, the output... Yeah, you can see the output is very valuable here. Experience is building up, so there's going to be quite a good total. The race work skill is 1.79, which is pretty ludicrous. Yep, now I've got all the workers. Might be worth putting a metal smeltery down here too. Sort of build this into like a little mini town. Maybe that'll be the theme of this episode. Just making this town a town. Or making this village like a small town. Or a large village, probably more realistically speaking. I guess we can get that rolling. There's this like farmland here I want to utilize. Since I really kind of doubt we're gonna... I mean, we can't build farmland over the clay zone. But still, you know. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying sometimes. I'm just gonna build a... Well, let's see, is there fish? We could get more fishery, that would also be good. Yeah, some of this is really decent fish territory. Might be worth building another fishery here. Because if we have a bunch of dwarves, the dwarves like the fish. It makes sense to have an additional fishery here. Looks like we built over all the decent fish territories other than this little chunk. Yeah, I'll get a little fishery here. It's gonna just get all this like green territory. Then we can just build like a little auxiliary. Can we build the auxiliaries over the... We could build it over the bad clay. It's only like this little zone right here's got the good clay. Ooh. That's really efficient. That's fantastic, actually. Boom, 100% efficiency. Get a little storage zone right here as well. Store 124 fish, which is a little bit not the greatest. We can't exactly make this any bigger. So that's just the way it'll have to be. A 6-worker building. Get another vegetable farm, I guess, to occupy this like zone down here. Try to get like 3 workers exactly. Amazing. We'll have to hire some more pigoids into our village once that's rolling. I want to experiment maybe with... Ooh, up here's pretty nice too. I wanted to experiment maybe with doing the... There's like buildings where you... I probably shouldn't be building into my tower defense zone, but we don't need the tower defense now that we like know that we can just attack people who are sieging us. I lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Nope, the thought's gone. I fucked it up. Oh no. This is fucked up. I'm just gonna change the subject. Mine's looking good. Got 1.49, 1.5 total per worker. Which is amazing. We're never gonna get like the 100% because our output is a little bit trash because no outputs. I say it's trash. The output is like an average of all the ore deposits, and very few ore deposits are ever like 100%. So I'd say 91 is probably pretty good. Did this one ever get done? No, it's still rocking. That is fine. Probably gonna want to build a storage building near the Great Weavery. Doesn't have to be underground, since I don't know if dwarves are really gonna work it. No reason not to build it now. It's just gonna be like built. It could be built next to this wall. Might make it kind of like an ugly building though. Definitely gonna want isolation. Just gonna build it out of wood. Make it rounded so pigoids could work here. Is this fully organic? It is. Amazing. Might be a little bit excessively big, but if we have extra space, we can just store, I don't know, fruit or something. There's got to be a better way to store space. But let's see, if we did this, then it would just be another row here. We could maybe shrink the building by 1. Yeah, I think that's the solution. We just have the double crate here. It's going to have to be like a little 1 pipper over here. Want the organic shape. There we go. So this will store the cloth for the weavery and also the clothes themselves that come out of it. It's not a huge one, but it doesn't need to be a huge building. The space for little apartment buildings are getting worked, which is nice. In the meantime, they are using these dorms. I mean, there's plenty of... The load's only 50% in this dorm, so we're actually maybe being a little bit excessive with the amount of dorms we're building. That's fine. There's some decent-ish... No, this land's terrible. It's really not the most wonderful location for a village, all things considered. Which is whatever. Yeah, even down here it's not that great. Might be a little bit of a cap on how big we can build it, but... I mean, if food has to be imported over or whatever, that's just the price of having a giant ore mine. We don't actually have storage for the ore itself. Which I guess I could build a building like that right now. So otherwise, we'd have to bust that shit all the way to the main town. This thing's a little bit unreasonable. There's plenty of space for buildings. So I think having a quite large building for ore makes sense. %70 organic is fine by me. This ore mine is gonna absolutely produce like an insane amount. Is the thing, so you know. This is really large. Warehouse. Could probably do it one less big, so I'm just gonna do that now. You can fill this little zone with crates. Boom. There we go. Then we can have doors up here. So that makes the most sense. Don't know if the dwarves are necessarily like super thrilled by the idea of making metal bars for a living. Or if they're even good at it. Let's see. There's coal mines, there's the good mines. Yeah, metal smelters. Do they like metal smelting? They're okay with it. They're not enthralled by the idea. They're just such good workers. It's like, why would you do anything but dwarves for any job? They build like a metal smeltery. Here would be pretty good for a building. It's kind of tiny. But that's whatever. It dumps out into the same road. It's close to this warehouse. Can have like a 2 wide road. Boom. And this road can connect up here and up here. There we go. We're at -7 odd jobbers. I need to add in like 10 pigoids or something. Say 19 pigs. Just I added a couple farm jobs, so you know. Gotta get that rolling. Still have that clothes surplus, so. It's gonna be a little bit of delay in all the mining because all the farmers are probably gonna get to work with harvest soon, which is fine. Don't know if we need another farm. We have so much food here. To be honest, we have more than we can really store. Unironically, I think this place is all loaded out. We might need another food warehouse. Guess I'll build it adjacent to this other one. Actually, what's fertility like? 80%? I could build in the... Where's another zone? Yeah, there's this little like shithole over here. I'll build another warehouse here. This seems like good stuff. Could be connected to this one. Just be a similarly massive one. It's the double warehouse district. There we go. It's 2 identical girth. Now I just need to... This one's going to have the upward facing barrels. Just to shake things up from its neighbor. Beat the allegations that they're literally identical. So it's also going to be made out of wood. Boom, boom. That'll be the ginormous food warehouse. We probably could have fit another like tiny storage unit in each of these. It is what it is. Might as well add like another 30 dwarves. Just to be odd jobbers for the time being. Oh, finally, the zone for the clothier is done. I don't know if I necessarily want to build it before I have the weaver also done. The warehouses. We could get the apartments rolling at least. So I think that'll be neat. Civics, service, flat house. Boom. We do not need the walls. It's at 91% isolation. It's pretty good. Boom. This is very Spartan. Oh no, there's not enough room for the knickknacks. I didn't even consider that. Hold up, I could expand it here though. It makes it less square, but then I could have another carpet. And I mean, 86% coziness is probably fine. It's how that or we remove an apartment. I don't think that's great. I'll build another one here. This one will be, I guess this will be the cozier of the two. It's gonna have a big old carpet. And a little knick-knack table. I forget what building I want stored here. I think it was going to be like a really tiny diner. Which is hilarious. Yeah, we definitely super duper duper need the warehouses. Maybe we just need to add more odd jobbers. I'm adding in another 31 dwarves. Have 2 heat exposure deaths, which is not good. But like I have so much clothing. That I don't know what to say. Maybe it would have made more sense to just import or like have a warehouse with clothing just fetch to serve this place. I mean, we could do that. We could just leave these buildings empty for like squatters or whatever to live in, I guess. Or maybe we could make flat houses out of them. Obviously, this is going to be a tinier warehouse. Probably going to want it along the main road. Could be this triangle shape. That'd be interesting. You build walls around it. A little bit awkward looking, but I mean, a triangle shaped building is always gonna be awkward in a game with like fucking blocks, you know? Oh no, there's just not much space. There we go. You can store 1.2 thousand clothing. That's literally more than the amount of clothing we have. Or well, it's the equivalent, so it's kind of perfect actually. Yeah, it makes sense to me. Of course, everything is going to take a little while because we need more jobbers. All this food is going to waste. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I guess we just need to add in more pigs. Oh, I finally remember what I was saying. I was going to experiment with the, like, breeding buildings. There's, like, buildings where people breed because they just don't do it in their own homes for whatever reason in this world. So having that rolling would be cool. Alright, come on, odd jobbers. Get this shit built. Maybe we could build a little woodcutter. So that they don't have to go for miles and miles just to get wood. Might make sense. Could also just have like a couple crates that I fetch resources in. One of the normal or gigantic warehouses that I'm going to build. That'd also be pretty good. It's definitely taking a while because they don't want to go for 10 million miles to just get the resources. Alright, come on. Build this tiny one. There we go. Now that the resources have been hauled, they're just going at it. We're starting to increase our cash, which is nice. Please give that. Yeah. Alright, auto-employ. This is going to be a clothes building. It's going to have 2 crates of it. And say fetch. Fetch this shit. In fact, for the time being, we could have like a crate of wood and stone as well. Have that fetched. Just so that that's always filled up. Oh, and furniture too. There we go. It's this little triangle building. Hopefully they get more than one employee, because they're definitely, like bust their back, hauling shit all the way across town. Every day for the rest of their lives. They've got another employee there. It'll make the building much nicer. How's the ore production going? Produced previous year 448 ore. That is bonkers. And they're kind of getting like cock-blocked because they have no place to store it because the friggin' warehouse is getting, slowed down by the lack of resources. Probably makes sense to just let this place lay fallow and focus on other things for a little while. It's gonna be a bit... We have nearly 100 odd jobbers, so this shit really should be getting built sometime soon. I guess the real question is, what am I doing in the meantime? Could expand the services in our main town. We build all the way to our first little palisade wall. Makes sense. Get another training ground or something. Don't have enough bathhouses. Might be worth investing in that. Or another... To be honest, we already have so much of everything. The only we could like import the stuff that we don't have a bunch of. Though it's a little bit sketchy. Maybe we should build another ration maker. I think that's something we could work on. Obviously, that's going to entail even more buildings and whatnot. We have 72 odd jobbers, so that's just like perfect, to be honest. Expand the good road a little bit, especially to the lavatory, which seems to be constantly in use. Maybe we need to build another lavatory before I get too deep in it. Where would be a good place for it? Sort of have all the like outskirtsy parts of town occupied. Could put one right here. There's a lot of people like walking along this road. Yeah, that makes sense. Build like a stone road going up here to speed up this travel. Could have like a nice little poop stop next to this mountain. So I don't want to build into the mountain for a lavatory. Just be like a little wooden kind of ramshackle place. Civics, hygiene, lavatory. The idea of like a wooden lavatory actually seems horrible. By the way, back at my old job, there's a point in time where the bathrooms were getting worked on. So everyone had to use this god-awful like outhouse. It was a little bit of awkward layout. Whatever, that's fine. 94% basins. Oh, 100%. You know, it's a little bit of wasted space, but it's aesthetically pleasing at least. So everyone had to use god-awful outhouse. And obviously I avoided using it as much as I could, but like, there's only so much you can, you know? It was that winter time too, which was just the worst, and it's like this little plastic outhouse. And it was absolutely cold. There wasn't like heating because it was located outside the building. I think there's like a fan too that made it worse. It felt like being naked outside, basically. Totally exposed. It's just not a good experience. There's a lot of like dread involved. You know, it was bad too because like the bathrooms at my workplace were not that great before they renovated them. They actually renovated them pretty freaking good. But they like constantly reeked of shit before they got worked on and stuff. But the outside one made me miss the friggin' shit smelling one, unironically. It's like the lavatory's pretty close to being built. Can draw our attention back here. Oh, these warehouses are finally there. So now it can have like a room for 5,000 ore, which will be nice. Put room for like 1,000 bars as well. I think maybe even like 2,000. This is the place for that shit. What else could I put here? Probably like room for 1,000 coal, and I'm gonna have fetch here too, so that the smeltery. Obviously, I need to auto-employ people as well. Awesome, and this is gonna be the food one. Auto-employ. Just gonna put room for about 5,000 fruits and vegetables and grain. There we go. I guess the remaining one will be able to store cotton as well, because why not? Boom. Fantastic. And get all this, like, wasted croppage gone. Amazing. These flat houses are done as well. They have 100% load. I think the reason the flat houses always have 100% load is because people, like, so vastly prefer the flat houses that it's just like they're willing to always go for them. It makes sense. How's the fertility on this? 54%. That's so not good. Yeah, the poor dorm has 18% load. Guess that's a good thing. You know, speaking of laboratories, if the dorms aren't, like, being loaded up, then maybe there could be a lavatory in here? Yeah, that makes sense to me. Actually, is this lavatory down here being used up too much? Nah, it's not full. No need to go ballistic with the lavatories. I think I will actually implement that little diner idea, because I think that's kind of cool. Let's see, canteen. No, we do not want walls. Boom, it's got 100% isolation. We need a little cooking station. Has 6 guests. Boom. Not quite enough seating. I don't think there's a way to fix it without reducing the amount of guests. Look, some people are just gonna have to order food to go. It is what it is. That's what they did in Rome. They had, like, fast food places. At least, if my memory is to be believed. Not that I was there. There we go. Pigoid's getting to work. It's a lot of grain in this warehouse. How's the fetch warehouse? Looks like it's working pretty good to me. Got a small amount of clothes, and they're getting full on wooden furniture. Oh, we're actually maxing out on the tool use. Guess the question also, you got 2 wrongful deaths. Starved? How are people starving? Oh no. I'm so dumb. There must have been this trapped subject thing that was going for... Oh no. God damn, that sucks. That's really terrible. I got too distracted by the banter. Now I gotta build a little tunnel for them. Maybe we could build a crypt out here. Definitely seems much more like a graveyard type of place, to be honest. I guess it makes sense to get that working now. A village should have a graveyard. Religion, graves, graveyard. Where should I put this thing? And this little spot in the center seems like okay. It seems a little bit like a waste, though. A graveyard should be a little bit out of the way. Yeah, put it behind the friggin' ginormous warehouses. That's pretty good. Get metric shitload of graves. A disconcertingly large amount of them. Then we can put a bunch of trees here. Respect 100%. Fantastic. Have a little dirt path to it. Not that I think people are going to need to visit the graveyard all that much. It's just a nice thing to do. And when that tunnel eventually gets built, we can solve those wrongful deaths. Actually down 30 odd jobbers again, which is nice. I guess just not sure where they're all going. Don't recall building that many buildings. Interesting. Well, I'm sure with the whatever, like, workload... Oh, yeah, the tools. Our next industry that should have tool use. Let's see. We could obviously increase the farm outputs. How's the fish looking? The fish... There could be tools in the fishery. It makes sense. Alright, what about work? We have a couple ore mines which could maybe use tools. I think we're going to have much more ore than we need. We know what to do with. I think the bakery could use more tools. I think I could max that out tool-wise. I still need to assign like 300 tools for people to use up. Grain brewery, charcoalers that could use... Okay, we've now got more tool demand than we have tools, so hopefully that will solve our tool problem. Probably makes sense to store tools somewhere. There's this warehouse that I'm barely using that definitely could have a couple slots. Which is nice. Tunnel to the fucking corpses is almost built. Probably be built before the graveyard is built, so they might be shanghaied to the crypt. That's fine. How much stone to in this warehouse? Oh, there we go. Looks like the graveyard's being built. Soon these poor corpses will find their rest. There we go. So enough graves for everyone in town. How's the storage looking in here? 392 ores. And a bunch of coal that's being stored as well. That's neat. Graveyard is done. It's got 2 employees. So another slaver? We have no use for used labor. Ah, the canteen's done. It's neat. Grilling up some fish. This could be a canteen up here, actually. It's a little bit like a... crappy to have 2 right next to each other, but like... kind of makes sense. You know, before I get too deep in this, I kind of feel like I should make another training yard somewhere. I mean, we have enough space for 15 more troops, but I think it makes sense that we could have a little bit of a longer, like, city blocks over here that just kind of connect to the wall. Might be short-sighted, but If I do that, then I could have a training building right here, maybe? We could have like a little alleyway. We just need training dummies enough for like 15 people. It's already 18. We could build it one wider and one squatter. That would be very space. Oh no, it's perfectly tall. Yeah, that's nice. Room for 24 soldiers. Kind of want to put another farm here. Don't know what we would put in here. Maybe some cotton. Maybe another cotton farm. It's like a giant plantation. Yeah, it makes sense to me. Have like a little road inlet here. Then we could build canal to the left and right. How's the irrigation here? 50% with 5 water tiles? Okay, so 10 is actually the way to do it. It's good to know. Another ration maker would be nice as well. Don't know where our rations are going. Clearly nowhere good. We're never going to be able to invade people if we don't have more ration makers. I could maybe restrict the rations that people could eat, or make it where they can't eat rations as meals, but we're such a production powerhouse, it feels like a little autocratic to kind of cuck people out of it. Okay, auxiliary station. Boom, 73%. Might be able to get another workbench too. Might be a little bit too greedy. Yeah, I don't think that can be done. Such a meandering little building. 92%, 100%. 24 workers. There we go. This is very neat. Meanwhile, at the ore mine, producing absolute metric shitload of ore. No grave space actually used. Eventually, when the people in this village age up, that's when the graveyard's going to be used, probably. I know they might actually, unironically, like cart people all the way out to town, put them in the crypts. It's interesting that this building only has 4 employees, whereas this one has 13. I guess because they have to, like, drag the coal over, that's impacting the workload. Definitely interesting. Oh, we have such a huge amount of... Hold up. No! Okay. I've freed them. No! Okay, come on. Get out of there, you dumb fucks. Fuck, everyone's really pissed the fuck off that I'm fucking with the graveyard. Boom. This guy's starving. He's going to get some food, though. No one is trapped. Someone else died of heat exposure. It is what it is. Fuck, let's see, how much of a dip did we get? No. Seems like everybody's kind of fine. Got 128% happiness with the grave burials. Oh, can't complain too much. It's unbelievable that these guys couldn't just climb over a grave. What the fuck's up with that? I hope people aren't gonna get like stuck in this building, this little nub over and over. Gonna have to keep an eye on the... Can you grab a bite to eat already? There we go, he's fine. I kind of anticipated more of a surplus of ores. Because it's still being used in town. We still have so much paper too. Maybe we could do another library at some point. The libraries don't really use all that much paper. Is there anything else that uses paper? I don't think there's much that uses paper. I guess we could build a administration building. That makes sense to me. Somehow I doubt that it produces noise. Yeah. So I could go in this little part of this block. It's like a giant, enormous grandstone infrastructure building, since we discovered how awesome it is last time in Dragon Ball Z. Okay, what if we shrunk this building one? So that we could have the giant clerk stations. Okay, and then we could have one like here, here, then a shelf in between here, and then carpet for the rest of it. Boom. There we go. Now we just need a door. Amazing. Yet another building. Running a little low on odd jobbers. I think we have so much coal because we put all the tools to use in the charcoaler. Let's see, we definitely need more lighting if we want to please the pigs, but just in the meantime, let's pull the trigger on having everyone be maxed out on clothing. Apparently the pigs get a lot more hyped about clothing than the dwarves do. It's interesting. Humans as well. I guess they really just like clothing. Don't know who we want to give the jewelry. I mean, the most obvious decision would be to give it to the dwarves. There's a lot of preferential treatment going to the dwarves, but they're like vastly superior to the Pigoids. Sorry to say. That should solve the clothing surplus for now. Yeah, you can see it all just quickly, rapidly draining as everyone's just in a rush to put on clothes. They've heard they're allowed to put socks on, so we're all getting to that. Which is neat. No one's gotten stuck yet in the terror nook, so that's nice as well. Could be worth putting like more industries up here. Maybe a farm. No, I think I don't need to mess with this little village anymore. Like, this warehouse is a little bit unnecessary. so we don't need to worry about it yet. We can just leave it in reserve. I think we've expanded this little village quite nicely. The only thing we could really do more is just add like another flat house, but with the dorm being used so little, I kind of don't think it's an urgent need. You can see him hanging out in little knick-knack zone, which is nice. Yeah. We set out to do a goal, and we completed it with flying colors, I think. In addition to expanding this village, we also added some industry to our town. Also, we'll soon enough have another training yard, so we'll be able to... how many employees does Ration Maker want? I'll add them right now. Anyways, as I was saying, we added some industry to the town itself, but we didn't really focus on it too much. I think this is as good as time to call it as any. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you next time for more Songs of Syx. Goodbye!